All right. We are here. We've already got Victor and Justin. How are we doing, guys? Good to see you. Tonight's a little more serious, but we're going to be very uncut because I don't want to have to overthink my words. If I want to say fuck, I just want to say fuck. So I've got a bit of a potty mouth outside of the show. I kind of have one inside the show, but that's just like the tip of the iceberg. And we'll use the word iceberg. So tonight we're going to talk about mental health. So for those of you that have been around the show for a while or around me for a while, you know that's been a thing that's been kind of, or it is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. So, and I've had a little bit of a setback recently. So I thought it'd be important to get out. Turns out a lot of you guys are going through a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure everyone is. But it occurs to me that men, I've had a lot of people reach out to me in the last month because they're having issues and just wanting to talk, but like they don't want to talk. The women that reach out want to talk. They don't mind. They throw the stuff out, and then like an hour later, they're like, oh, sorry. An hour of messages. Hey, Vic. Hour of messages, and they're like, oh, sorry, this is kind of a lot to dump on you. And I don't care. I don't think there's a level that is dumping. But I do find that men in particular, and I'm just stereotyping here a little bit, but men tend to like hold it in and be almost ashamed of it. So, and I'm the same way. Like I don't want to bother other people with my problems, but it's not an imposition. I don't think anyone would be upset if I all of a sudden unloaded on them. And I have kind of unloaded a little bit on a couple people. Andrew Sensky has been very good. I can't think of who I talked with this week. Kyle's been good to help with stuff like this. One of our new viewers, or I don't know if they're a viewer or not, but somebody who wanted to buy some ice pods reached out actually after I posted that I'm going to be doing this show about mental health. Doug's here. Don said something. Yeah, talk about it. Let it out. So the one thing I learned, this was a little bit before I started my therapy. So as a little recap, hey, Wally, as a little recap, I had a month that I took off of work on a medical leave. This is for mental health. So I was in a program that was like outpatient, but it was like 8:30 in the morning till 3:30 at night. So you were there like all day, basically. I could have gone to work at night if I had a night job, but they didn't recommend it, which I think is great because you need that time. Well, Miles is here. This is a much bigger audience than I expected to have tonight. Thanks, guys. I'm getting a little, seriously, a little affected. I really think men hold it in because of stigmas and because they feel it shows weakness. Yeah, I think it's a societal how we were raised, how we were brought up. If I could tell you guys, I'm not going to name names, but at least 5 people have reached out to me this week, to either talk about stuff or just be like, they want to talk about it, but they don't want to put it on anyone. So it's like, hey man, you can tell they want to talk about it, but they don't want to put it on anyone. And that's not what it is. You're not putting your problems on someone when you talk to them. So if you have a problem, reach out to that friend. If they ask like, hey man, are you okay? What's going on? Tell them. They want to know. They wouldn't ask otherwise. If people want to be self-centered and dicks, they won't ask. Thanks, Wally. Yeah, I think a lot of people we need to. So my epiphany, I'm getting sidetracked, welcoming everybody to the show. My epiphany was that my pain, me talking about my problems to you, does not detract or affect your pain. A lot of guys, every guy I've talked to this month about their issues or things they're going through right now has prefaced their discussion with I know everybody's going through stuff. This isn't a big deal because everyone else is going through stuff. Well, it's a big deal to you, fucker. It is a big deal because it's a big deal to you. It might not be as huge of a deal to me, but it's a big deal to me. If you're in this audience, if you're a human being and you're going through things, reach out to me. I will talk to you. I don't care who you are. I don't care if we only ever talked here. I will talk deep shit with you. I don't care. If you know me on Facebook, you see me on Facebook, throw me a message. I'll get to it later. I'm obsessed with social media. I will get to it. I'll give you my personal phone number. I don't care. I think mental health is so important. And I think Vic hit on it. As men, in particular, it's a stigma that we have to be tough, where we have to deal with our own stuff, or I'm going through this problem, but this guy over here, he just lost his leg. So who am I to bitch? Well, yeah, he lost his leg. That's his problem, essentially. Like, not to dump on that guy who lost his leg, this imaginary person, not to worry about his feelings. But yeah, and Doug, it does. It helps you kind of work out your issues. Sometimes I have epiphanies, but for me, it kind of is a distraction from my issues to try to talk to other people about theirs, or knowing that I can help someone talk through a situation, or just to listen to them, and that helps them, makes me approach my own situation a little from a different angle and appreciate it more and deal with it a little better. But yeah, that guy with no leg, or missing a leg, essentially that's his problem. Maybe he'll want to talk about it with you, but it doesn't mean he doesn't want to help you with your issues. If you're having a mental health issue, or you're struggling with something very real, like when I went in originally, I was having my psychologist or my psychiatrist was like, you need to get in a program, like ASAP. I got a person, I got a thing here, go here. So within 3 days, I was in the program. So what I was having was violent thoughts, and I have an anger issue. So I was having violent thoughts toward strangers, which was not abnormal, but they were getting to like the point of like fantasizing. And then I was having them like violence as a solution to arguments with my wife. Like, it was that thought was happening. Nothing ever happened. But my mouth can get out of hand. I didn't even do that. I would just shut down and be like, I'll be downstairs. And I knew those thoughts were just crazy. Like, you can't have those thoughts. So, but it was like to the point that it was not funny. Like, I would laugh about it later. Like, oh my God, who would do that? But it was not good. And it wasn't like serious things, it was serious violence, but violence. So 10 years sober from opioids. Nice, Doug. Nice. Congratulations. Yes, by all means, vent. That tends to be my go-to, is if I get in a situation where I'm upset, I have to vent it for like 5 minutes. And then I can come back to it like nothing ever happened. And it's true to me. Nothing happened. It's over. It's settled. It's done. I need that 5 minutes to just let those demons out, where I'm just, motherfucking that person, like, not to their face, but like, fuck that guy. Like, I hope his kids get cancer. Like, shit like that crosses my mind. I don't mean it, but it's sometimes therapeutic to say that awful stuff about that person. I don't recommend it. It's not for everybody to go dark. But once I go that dark, I go, oh my God, you need to settle down. And then I come out of it. Mental state of mind is so intriguing to me now. It will help so much. I think it's a self-confidence thing too. I have a ton of self-confidence. The meds are huge. I used to think that meds were for losers. And I didn't want anyone to have that. I thought it was a crutch. I thought it was for people who just couldn't deal with their own shit. So, and that's not the case. Oh, tonight we're taste testing McDonald's Coke, the best Coke, followed closely by Portillo's. I had to get myself a treat to kind of come out of it. I was having a really bad day today. I had to recognize in myself that I have social anxiety. When I get upset, I don't want to be around people. I don't want to have any issues when I'm dealing with other people asking me about it. So, because right now, like, I'm unemployed. So that was a big problem. So when I went into my program, quick recap again, when I went into my program for mental health, I came back after a month of being off work. None of my coworkers, which basically this place I worked at caused me to have the break where I needed to go. Sorry, I'm reading comments. I knew I would do this. I knew I'd get blown away by the comments. You guys are awesome. The stuff that everyone goes through is crazy. And Wally, congratulations to your son. Microdose? You can't make your own brain chemicals. Store-bought is fine. Yes. So get the right stuff. Don't self-medicate. Get something prescribed and make sure that it works. Go through the steps. So I came back from my mental health training, basically, is all it was. It was developmental behavior therapy, DBT. I think that's what the thing stands for. But That's one I recommend for everybody who's not like needs to be in a inpatient program. That might be a little different. I don't have any experience with that, so I don't know. But coffee helps. So I came back, and not a single one of my coworkers, which there were 3. We had a brand new manager when I came back who wasn't there when I left. Not a single one of them asked me until like 4 o'clock how I was or how everything went. I just went back to work. Nobody talked to me really all day. And I was fine with that. I didn't talk to them either. I just was like, I kind of expected that a little bit. And I was like, let's just get through the day. I don't need to talk to them if they don't want to talk to me. And then an hour before I left, my the assistant manager there, the one who's directly above me, messaged me through our message system. Our branch is like, no matter where you are in our little branch, our little office inside of a fucking grocery store, you're like 15 feet from everyone else, 15 feet away. So imagine, if you will, you're 15 feet away from a coworker. Not even, it was 10 feet because I was in the middle of the place. Messages me on the like instant messenger. Hey, how you doing? Or how you been? In the group chat, in our little group chat. No one else has said anything to me all day. And so I know they have another group chat without me, because they're messaging each other in it. And there were no prior messages while I was gone. So say something I've always said to them, or to her in particular. I just said, ha, thanks, honky. Because I call people honky. Like, that's what I do. So, well, for those of you that don't know, that's a racial slur. Sorry, I'm putting ants back in their case. We had a breakout today. So that's inappropriate. So, and it was on our company's message board thing. So there was proof. So I got let go. It took them like 2 weeks. They literally kept me on long enough to train my replacement, and then called someone in to tell me I was fired. So, I trained the person who replaced me, who was supposed to be getting trained for another branch. So, that hurt. Like, I didn't realize I did it, but I was going through PTSD from that, right? So I was having issues. So it took me not even 2 weeks. I had a job at a restaurant serving tables, and that was pretty great. It was stress-free. They had lied to me in the interview, so I was less than committed to that place at all, about benefits. So I just kind of I was still looking the whole time. The last job I had came up, and I didn't give a 2-week notice, but I tried. I didn't have time. So then this one kind of got let go for the same reasons, but I liked my team. So now I'm still going through this, it rehashed everything that I went through last year. So it brought it all back up. So right now I'm feeling pretty worthless, but I know that's not me. That's not on me. I'm dealing with the repercussions, but that's not on me. That's somebody else's problem. But all of those tools that I used helped me through it. So if anybody out there is dealing with this issue, for God's sake, get some help. Get into a program. Get with people that can help you. Maybe find a friend. You can just bend an ear mutually. Everybody's got issues that they need help with right now, especially we've got COVID. We've got crazy politicians on super far out on different scales. We've got, talking heads bobbing at us all the time. We've got the stress of family stuff getting together, money stuff, like gas is crazy right now. Groceries are crazy expensive right now. Nobody's getting raises, but inflation's high. People want to sell their house because they're going to get a fortune for it, but then they don't realize that the next house is also a fortune, so you're not going to get anything better. The panini is a shit sandwich. Miles, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Where did the panini thing come from, Miles? That better be a mistel. You better be talking to somebody else. Paninis are the greatest things on the planet. Oh my God. When I was a chef, I turned paninis into an art form. And whew, that hits close. Miles, that hits close. Oh, pandemic. Oh, the pandemic sucks. Yeah. It is a shit sandwich. Okay, I get it now. It's a shit sandwich. Actual paninis are amazing. So, yeah, we got the pandemic. We're still dealing with that. We got, the same dickheads that were like, my body, my choice about the masks and the vaccine. are the ones voting for like the anti-abortion stuff. Like, I didn't really want to get into politics, trying not to tonight, but like it drives me crazy. Like, stop. We need to all stop just being two different colored eyes. What kind of does? I've got different light. There's a light right here. That's like a soft light. And then there's a light right here coming from my camera. And then there's a crazy bright light over there, a grow light for my awesome plants. Huh. I'll take the two different eyes. That's sexy as fuck. Actual paninis are great. Cannoli. You work for Boar's Head? Doug, I need to talk to you. Get me a job, bro. Fecka Bubbles is here too. Awesome. So where was I? So get help. Literally, reach out. Find a buddy. Find somebody you can talk to. Find someone who will listen. That is making my eye look weird. Now I'm freaking out about it. Still doing it. This eye looks like blue and this one looks brown. Weird. I have green eyes, so it doesn't make sense. It looks like I got hit or something. Sorry. Cannoli's pretty good. I'll give you that. I especially take a break. Take a break if you need to. Take that breath. One of the keys, I touched on this a lot. I didn't touch it. I obsessed about it the last time I did one of these episodes. This is the second one. Mindfulness meditation. There's a lady that does them on YouTube for free. She does it's not a video really, it's just sound. But if you just look in YouTube, mindfulness meditation, start with the 5-minute ones and then move up as needed. I will warn you, in the 10-minute ones, she gets you into this breathing state where you're focusing on nothing. And then she stops talking altogether. So there's just this like weird, like those Chinese massage balls that jingle. That's the best. You know, that's what they do. You're supposed to move them like this, right? So I'm so glad that Chris Biggs isn't here right now. So, yeah, experiences mental things on vacation. Mindfulness meditation, she'll go 10 minutes and she'll have this thing where she stops talking and you're just doing your breathing and you're clearing your mind. And like after, I don't even know how long, because you're just in the zone with it, she comes in and starts talking again and it freaks you out. Like it takes you totally out of it. And I think it totally messes that up. I have a pair of those, the balls, because they're very therapeutic. They're very, very therapeutic. So trying to train my wife with this. But another thing, art therapy. If you have any type of art, like color, get an adult coloring book, get a kid's coloring book, anything. Just put something on a page, like draw, write out your thoughts. Journaling is great. I use kinetic sand. This is my go-to, boy. This is my desktop right here. This is that stuff you can get for kids. You can get like 3 pounds of this for $10 or something. And this, just letting it fall through my fingers. Oh my God. This was half of that month that I was doing that therapy. Half of the time I had this with me. We had 2 little tubs of this and I kept hogging it. And so I bought my own, this black one, because it's badass, because it's black. We all know black is like the toughest, right? So just this soothes me and kind of centers me again. So I try to keep it within arm's reach right now. So I'll tell you what, filling out 5 or 10 job applications online these days it is a slog. Filing for unemployment took forever. I was like, do I get paid for this time? Sketching, coloring, I paint miniatures. I started working on that project that we talked about Thursday. I literally started working to try to find out how to market a thing that I brought up Thursday for a stuffed animal or cartoon program to try to market that and pitch that idea. So I got to get a copyright on that ASAP, because that's the advice that they give you. I also, excuse me, guys. Escapees. Sorry. Oh, there's one. Where else were we? I knew I'd get sidetracked. I left my notebook out in the car. I use church. I have church to fall back on, but that's the place where I'm like, because everybody in my church tends to be like flutter puppies. Miles, Don't say it out loud. It is Flutter Puppies. I have some rough sketches done. If you're part of my Patreon, you're gonna get sneak peeks on the Flutter Puppies. So keep that to yourself. And if you're a good friend, I've sent you some who I think might be interested. I sent you photos as well. You get freebies. You don't have an inner monologue? Oh my God. Mine talks out loud. Like my inner monologue, I just have to say things out loud. I don't have I guess I don't have it. Yeah, Vika Bubble saw them. Yeah, it comes out. Like I have to be like, oh, you piece of shit, or whatever. Like people hear you say it. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Vika. This is literally like the very basic. They have a lot of work to do on the Flutter Puppies, but we're gonna get them there. We're gonna get them where we need it. I also have the next generation ready to go for season 3 or season 2. I know this episode's all over the place. Yeah, one of my major issues is my inner monologue just comes out. Like I don't have that. I don't have where I keep it inside. I don't bottle things up. I kind of let them out. But that said, like, oh, Vic, when I get them actually like trademarked or whatever, I'm going to start pushing them out. But I honestly think this is an idea that could be something. It could be how I finally stop working for other people that much. What was I saying? Where are we at? Inner monologue? Yeah, but right now, so we went to my in-laws and they're not judgy, but they, I didn't want to talk about this, like the job hunt and having no job. I don't even think my parents know yet. Like hardly any people know. Like you guys know. My in-laws know, mostly because I just can't hide anything from them, or I choose not to. But it just comes down to a shame. Like this one, I'm ashamed of how this happened. And I understand that. But this is one of those things I kind of got to get it through it myself a little bit before I manage it into public domain. Because it happened too soon after the last thing. Like I literally hadn't been fired in 20 years or more. 20 years or so. So, which when I first started in the workforce, I was a piece of shit. Like I needed to be fired twice a week. So, but those days are gone. So now I'm a valued asset. So to have that happen twice in 1 year, like, I'm glad I can be here and discuss this with you guys because it's devastating is what it is. Like it really, but that said, like, sorry, I had to show off my little Calvin and Hobbes. Some of my favorite t-shirts. It's very soothing. Wally's inner monologue comes out when he has. I can't see you having an outer monologue unless it's your own issue, Wally. I don't know that for sure. I would need Nanette to Nanette. I would need Nanette to verify that, but I think that's the case. But yeah, this one messed me up. But that said, like again, it doesn't stop me from helping other people get through their stuff. So it makes it it just makes it a thing where helping others helps you, right? So do that good thing. Be that good person. Be approachable. Be there to help your friends or even non-friends. A lazy Sunday book? So you don't have an inner monologue. What do you think about? Well, I think nonstop. I don't think that's an inner monologue. I think an inner monologue is when you're walking in Walmart and you're like, you see a lady in sweatpants and flip-flops, or no, not flip-flops, sweatpants and high heel shoes with a members only jacket. I know this is very specific because I saw this lady and her hair in like a beehive, basically. And she smoked herself into a skeletal situation. But the sweatpants and high heels set me off. Like that part was like, I'm going to judge you. You made a choice. You chose this. So I'm going to choose to make fun of you. So I do that. My mouth does that quietly, but definitely audibly. That's an inner monologue. That should stay inside my head. and not come out of my mouth. I don't really have that gift. Yeah, good. Well, I swear to yourself. I do that way more than most. Yeah, I think that's the inner monologue. So let that be. Man, Scott, that was you? That was you in the high heels and the sweatpants? I had started writing a country song, but I never got past the high heels and sweatpants. That's all I got. That's all I got. Something about Walmart romance, I think was the next line. That was years ago. But I'll never forget that lady. I'll never forget exactly what she looked like. Because, dear Lord, yeah, she was like a nicotine, like a Surgeon General's warning in real life. Like she was just walking around. And yep, I judge people. I know I probably shouldn't. I will only judge people on what they chose to do, not what, they were born as, I guess. And that's like what you wear, dumb tattoos. And that's all my opinion. But it doesn't mean I can't be friends with those people. But if we're friends and you have a dumb tattoo, it doesn't mean I'm not going to make fun of it. So, posted in missed encounters. Oh, yeah. No, I don't ever want to find that lady again. She's probably dead. That was like 20 years ago. I mean, she was mostly dead when I saw her, so she's probably gone. And I'm okay with that. That's not my fault. That has nothing to do with me. It's sad, but whatever. I think another thing to have therapy, these animals have been very therapeutic, no matter how much work the ants put me through. It's been very therapeutic having all these animals to care for. Seriously. During all this time, doing that, trying to get creative, trying to do other things, setting up Lego stuff. She's mostly dead when I saw her. Officer, I only did like 10% of the crime. She was like 90% gone. Whatever, man. That's awful. That's awful. This woman who's imaginary now. She was real, I swear to you. She's imaginary now because no one will ever see. No one will ever know. Hopefully she got some fashion sense. She got some queer eye for the straight guy going. But yeah, guys, get a hobby. Get a couple hobbies. Get somebody you can talk to. For me, yeah, I talk to my wife. We talk about everything, and that's great. But at the same time, it's not as, in this situation, it's not as therapeutic because I'm feeling very much like a failure in this situation. And I'm sure there's other people out there going through similar things, or there's things in their life that make them feel that way. I will admit that it's difficult to talk to my wife because I want to be, that just freaked me out. I saw my cat in the corner on the stairs. I don't know if anybody else saw that. I was like, did we just catch a ghost on film? It's difficult for me to talk to her as easy as it is to talk to my wife, and as connected as we are and how important we both know mental health is. And getting that stuff out and talking about it, I find it really hard to talk to her about it because I feel like a failure. It like triggers me, right? It sets me off, which I don't think is fair. So I don't really want that to be a thing. But it is. So I try to reach out beyond my family and my inner circle. When my father-in-law wants to help with this, I know he wants me to like go out with him and frisbee golf and talk about it all day. And I don't want to. It's just too much. It's too much. And I know he means well. I know he's great. He's a great guy to talk to. But in this situation, like I've failed his daughter, ostensibly. So I'm not feeling very approachable about it. Like I don't want him to be the one I talk to. So I'm trying to talk to friends, trying to talk to people that I don't want to say peripheral, but they're not in the thick of it, Nothing's affected by them. And I think that's powerful. I advise that for people. Maybe find someone outside of your inner circle to talk with about some heavy things. Because they're not as connected. They don't have the obligation to care as much. So you're going to get a more honest reaction. You're going to get, and you don't really care about their reaction as much either. Does that make sense? It sounds really shitty coming out of my mouth, but That's really why I do it. Thanks, Doug. Plants are a good hobby. I feel like plants, the growth is too slow. Like the change in them that you can instill is just too slow. It would be hard for me to take plants as a thing. Like art is great because you can do it in no time and just get it out and focus on it and just not focus on your problems for a minute. It's not avoidance so much as you can come back with a clear head, and then when you've cleared it out, come back and go to your problem again. And you might have a different angle on it. That's true with that third party person. You don't have to worry about them coming back to people you don't want to know. Yeah, I don't have to worry about Rick telling my mom about this stuff. I've been talking to Rick. I've been talking to Rick from Ophi Spider-Verse. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And same goes to you. Like, reach out. We used to do chats. We might do more chats to kind of keep in touch with people. Right now, I'm not feeling it, so I'm not really about that right now. Sorry, these ants are driving me crazy tonight because there's definitely some way that they're getting out a little bit. I had a thing where the string that I use for, okay, so I don't know if you can see the string. This string here is a replacement. It's tied to a rock, so it's taut. See how that's like a guitar string. So it rotted away because it's kind of in water. So it was around this rock that's like this, tied up around there. Well, the twine rotted from the water, so it snapped, and then that string was just kind of dangling and hanging against the glass, and then it was against this lid, so they could just get out for a couple hours today. I do have some fish, Ryan. Yeah. This is not a big tank. It's just a couple. It was going to be a holder tank for newts. But then I went with white clouds, and actually the adult newts might go in there. I don't know yet. There's some white clouds in there. There's a female beta. I'm going to get a couple more of those. There's 6 cories now. 5 cories. One died. One died the day I got it. So Ryan used to work with me at the Roadhouse. Now that I remember who he is. He's a Cub fan. He's a good kid. Got a good head on his shoulders. I did pluck it today, because not only did that happen, the waterfall thing, I had let it go dry. Then I could hear it going, trying to run, so I had to get it out of there. Well, as it was dry, the ants decided to go in there. So there was like 50 to 100 ants pissed off when I pulled it out. They came pouring out up my arm. Oh my God. It sucked. So I figured that out. We had to figure that out. So you had to pluck that string a little bit to get them off of there. So that's when the thing snapped, and I didn't notice it snapped. So when I put everything back in there, I just assumed it was in the right place. It was not. And when I realized it, I saw like a few had come out. It didn't look like a lot. So I caught everybody I could. But now I could tell it was more than I thought, because there's some trying to get back in now. So the problem with having the barriers on the ant thing is that they can't get back in either. So they sit around the outside of the tank trying to get back in, or falling on you. Did Doug leave? I didn't see that. I didn't see Doug say he was leaving. Oh, there he is. Okay. Video game therapy is dope. I used to go on all of those games where you are so bad, like as the violent-minded person. I used to go on those games like Grand Theft Auto, or what's the other one? Xbox had one. Saints Row. And you just find someone that find like an NPC running around in the game who just vaguely looked like the person you were mad with, and just like hitting them with a bat or something. Then the cops get involved. It's kind of fun. Doesn't hurt anybody. It's just fantasizing, whatever. It's fine. A lot of stuff happened at the Roadhouse past week. Good. Yeah, Wally, whoever, reach out, guys. If you need help with something, reach out, talk to somebody. It's important. These things are important to everyone. So you're not alone. You're not the person that is going to handle it all. You're just not. Eventually, it's going to break down at some point, or you're going to turn to something illicit, like Victor was talking earlier about opioids, or you're getting into some kind of drug, some kind of alcohol. Like I said, last Thursday, even I think I had a problem with alcohol. I would say alcoholic, but like I can control it now. Does that make sense? That sounds like something an alcoholic would say, like, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. But literally, like I can have a couple of beers and that's it. I don't want to go in for more. And I don't want to, what's the thing I'm looking for? I was tempted this past week, actually, to go to a local bar. Yeah, but I stopped myself. Like there's a place that we go to that has good food and everything. Oh, thanks, Wally. That means a lot. Like I know, yeah, I've had a couple people reach out this week randomly, and it really sparked the point of this episode to do it today. Because again, they're just like, alcohol and sad pills will make you black out. Well, man, Scott, that just sounds great. Like, why would you post that as a bad thing? Yes. Get a she shed. Justin, get a she shed. Put everything out there for a day. Fix what you need. Bring it all back in. I don't remember what I was talking about. Again. Yeah, it's just been crazy. Like it's been a crazy time for everybody, I feel like. So, and if people aren't reaching out, or they're because we've been so secluded from each other, everybody's been like kept in their house or kept in their neighborhood or kept behind masks. Like I do agree with people on that. Like I feel like the masks make things so much less personal, especially people with their dipshit logos that were on there. It affected society. Like I think it affected society, and that's why we have such a now we have an epidemic of mental health issues. And I didn't realize that anxiety and depression go hand in hand. So like anxiety triggers depression and vice versa. I didn't realize that was a thing until I had to help, and everybody was there for that. Like they told me I had it, and I was like, really? Is this a thing? And everybody had it. So I thought I was alone until I realized everybody in my group, everybody but 2 people had it. Wow. Autopilot blackout. That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't imagine. My blackout is like, I'm just done. I'm on someone's lawn, passed out. A&W's my go-to. I'm out of A&W. So, which I could be getting more, I guess. Yeah, let's end this early so I can make a run. No. Yeah, I'm no expert. By no means take my medical advice, but by all means, know that you're not alone. Know that you're not the only one going through these things. There are other people out there. There are other people having the same problems you have, or similar enough. But again, like your problems don't overshadow theirs and vice versa. So their pain, don't hold back because you're worried that your pain is going to be a burden to them. Like your pain, me helping you with your broken leg doesn't mean my leg's not still broken. It's still broken. It's still going to need help. But I can still help you. Like I still have 2 hands and another leg, right? Morning gecko enclosure is therapy. Isn't that like this big, man? Come on. Those things don't need any space. That thing is pretty beautiful, though. Your morning gecko setup is pretty dope, Jedi. Yeah, I'd probably be in jail if I had functional blackouts where my body was just doing stuff on its own. I'd be totally in jail. But yeah, don't let it, like a lot of times these things can lead to like self-destructive things where you just kind of give up on giving a damn about what's going on, what the consequences are to your actions. Don't get to that place. Get it out of your system. Find somebody who can help you through it. Especially if it's a big deal. Like, don't hold it back because you think it's too big for someone to handle. Their response might just be, "Oh, damn, that sucks. Wow, I wish there's something I could do for you." But maybe they have something to say. Maybe they do. And if they don't, maybe don't reach out to that person again. Like, find someone that you think will have kind of an intelligence, empathetic response. This damn ant. I'm sorry, guys. I know. I got to get this. I got to move this whole setup. It's too late. I set this whole thing up right here. Vica Bubbles. Yeah, this, where'd you go? This was dangerous for me. So using the humor to cope, that's kind of how I called my assistant manager a honky on our messenger system and got fired for it. So that was my humor, and it was humor that had been accepted in the past. So I didn't think there was a problem. But that was like straight up retaliation. So, yeah, so humor can get you in trouble, especially mine. So be careful with that. I like to use humor as well. Like, I really, really think humor is super important. So, by all means, it does happen. Shit does happen. And when it does, reach out to someone. Find somebody. They may not always have the time. It's not personal. They have their own stuff to deal with. So don't be like, I'm never talking to that guy again because he didn't have 5 minutes to talk to me about, getting fired twice in 1 year. Like, that's a lot for someone to take on. But don't stop. Like, you'll find someone who can talk to you. Yeah. Yeah, keep the humor down to limited settings. Find someone who can talk to you. Or, like I said, someone who's not in your A level. Like, go to C level, maybe. Your A level's like, I'm thinking like friends you've had since high school. Actually, that might be a person. That might be an A level person you could go to. I don't really have that in my life. So that's hard too. Once I went through my therapy, I realized this made things a lot harder for me. But I realized that a lot of the relationships I had, my friendships, long-lasting ones, were either toxic or perpetuating behaviors that were self-destructive or destructive in general. So I kind of severed ties with a lot of people that I've been friends with for a long time. Like, I tried to talk it out with them first and be like, "Hey, man, like, this isn't working. Like, this is not something I have space for in my life. I don't have space for going out to get wasted. I don't have space for spending money I don't have or talking shit about people that don't deserve it. I don't have space for that stuff in my life. I have space for, again, judging people for things that they don't have control of. And these people, that was a focus. That was a big focus for them. So I had to really get out of it and get away from it. So I don't have a lot of like IRL friends anymore. I have my cousin who we argue. We have conversations about politics. He's pretty right, not pretty much far right, but he's not far right, but he's right. And I'm pretty liberal. I would say liberal with common sense. Does that make sense? It took a lot for me to respect the boundaries, but yeah, I don't have a lot of friends. I have a couple of friends. The one friend that hurt the most, that I had to kind of give up, that was really rough, was a friend I'd been friends with for like, I think it was 20, so 27 years, longest running friend. So that was hard. And there's people I tried to reconnect with from high school and stuff, but like we met up coincidentally. It was really weird. And so I was like, oh, we could, maybe we could hang out. But I couldn't get past all the dumb shit from high school. And it was justified. Like, they hadn't changed at all. So it was like, well, you haven't evolved at all. Yeah, I'm old as shit. Yeah. I don't look it though. I got to see Cheyenne's bald ass head last Tuesday. He took his hat off. He's like, I know you saw some of Wally's head, so I'm gonna show you mine. We saw part of Wally's head without his hat, you guys. I've never seen that before. In 2 years I've known Wally, never seen him without any part of his hat. Nobody guesses 47. Nobody guesses it. I like to live young. But I'm very wise. I just don't like to show it because then people expect it out of you. You can't be a clown when you're wise. I'm only wise because I've made a lot of mistakes. So let's see what else. We'll do some full disclosures tonight. So I was in jail for 10 days at one point. Been arrested. I don't even know how many times. You would have guessed 46. Fucking FICO bubbles. Victor's 38. Nice. You got good hair for 38, brother. I will say, if you don't want to go to jail, pay your fines, go to court. Don't let your license be suspended and or revoked. And if you do have them suspended and or revoked, don't drive on them. Yeah, I got pulled over. So I had, let's see, from the time I was 2021 to the time I was, I was like 30, 32, something like that. I didn't have a valid license because from the time I was 21, my license was suspended. And then so I would get pulled over, get arrested, pay bond, get a court date, not go to the court date, keep driving like nothing happened. Eventually I get pulled over again. There'd be a warrant out for my arrest for not going to court and more suspensions on the license. So I'd get arrested, pay bond, keep driving like nothing happened, never go to court. That went on for like 20 years, no, 15 years maybe. So that was really dumb. So don't do that. So in the end, it cost me like 10 days in jail. And then that friend who I just cut ties with, this is the part that hurt the worst. He's the one who actually came and bailed me out finally. Because everybody else was doing tough love, which respect. But I didn't have money to pay bail. That's why I was in jail. So fines are only punishment for the poor. So, yeah, so I spent 10 days in county jail. Sucked. That might be a whole other episode. That it sucks. Don't do it. I don't recommend it. I did joke that I know why guys get gay in prison, and it's because they're bored. It's nothing to do. It didn't turn me in 10 days, but I understood a little bit better. I don't know about a caste system, but I guess I get you. But yeah, it cost me $14,000 in lawyer fees and backdated fines. And then come to turn out, like 2 years later, I was driving. 2 years, I met my wife while I was going through all that. I wasn't driving. It took me 5 years to get it all paid off, get my license back, get everything good. And then we were driving somewhere, and I got pulled over for something. And the cop ran my plates. He ran my license. And he comes back. He's like, "You step out of the car." And I was like, "Get out of here." Like, "No, I'm not stepping out of the car." He's like, "I put you under arrest. Like, you're driving on a suspended or driving, you got a warrant for this missed fine." And I was like, "No way." So anyway, paid the bond. Wife's hysterical. I'm a mess. I'm super pissed. It's super expensive to be poor. Yeah, being poor, there's a lot of tax on being poor. You went to jail after you took a baseball bat to someone who attacked my mom. That's worth going to jail for. Yeah. I don't know that I'd be out of jail if that had happened to me. Someone attacks my mom. God forbid I find out who they are. But where was I? So yeah, I got pulled over, got arrested again. Said there was some stuff on my license. Now, literally, like, guys, I'd gone through 5 years. Made sure I went through paperwork. I had reams and reams of paperwork. So I bailed out. Had a very aggressive officer. It is in like Homewood, Illinois, like small town USA. Straight honkies. It's all that's in that town. So this beefy, he looked like a young Fred Flintstone. I don't, does that make sense? He looked like he was made out of blocks, like not a real person. Like he was square. Kept coming in to have me take off my shoes. And I'm like, "I'm not taking off my shoes. Stop being a dick." Because I was like, "My wife's bailing me out right now. I'm sitting in a room. You guys just have me in a room, not even locked in here. Give me a break." So, anyway, I was a mess. I was freaking out, sweating, ready to cry at a moment's notice, just because I had taken care of this. So when I went to court, I had all my paperwork with me. They refunded my bond. They refunded everything else. They saw that it was a paperwork error, basically. But like, I was traumatized. Like, I was a mess. And then like years later, people were like, "You could have sued the state." Blah, blah. That's not me. That's not me, bro. So anyway, don't make dumb mistakes. And all of those happened because I was self-medicating back then, right? So I never had a charge for alcohol or drugs or anything like that. No DUI. No, I never ever did that. One time I drove drunk, realized I was drunk from a party. It was out in the middle of nowhere. So to be to be smart, drunk brain, I pulled my little car. I had a Plymouth Horizon or a Dodge Omni is the same car. They were the exact same car. So a little hatchback. So I pulled it into a cornfield. I'm doing this with my hand because that's how it was driving it in the cornfield. So I drove like 100 feet into the cornfield. And then it occurred to me, like if a police car drives by, they're going to see this swath of downed corn in my car at the end of it. So then I turned right and drove another like 20 feet and stopped. Took the keys out of the ignition, put them on the seat next to me, and passed out. Said I'll sleep till I sober up, right? And I got woken up by a bird tapping on my windshield. So I was like, what? I didn't know what happened. I thought I got like alien abduction for like 20 minutes. I couldn't figure out. But I don't know how I got my car out of there either. Thank God it hadn't rained in the last like 2 weeks. It was all dry, but getting that car out of there was like rocking it out of the snow. If you got stuck in the snow, I had to do that, but in dirt and corn. So I'm sorry for this farmer's field corn or slop corn or whatever the hell he was feeding it to his cows or his pigs. But anyway, don't drive drunk. That's the moral of that story. But yeah, no charges like that. No charges for drugs or alcohol or anything. But it still wound up costing me 14 grand in back stuff. I am not. You know what? I am a fortunate son. I will say I appreciate how fortunate I've been through all of that. Like I've never been harassed by a police officer. I had a police officer once with me handcuffed in the back seat, coming in the size of me. I was in my late 20s, I think, at the time, and I was pretty fit, dude. Fairly, like way more than now. And he literally was like, "Hey, man, we're looking for more officers. When this is all done, you should probably fill out an application or something." I swear to God, you guys, he was trying to recruit me while I was arrested in the back seat. But then he was like, to justify it, he's like, "I'm looking at your record. You don't have any serious charges here. You know, you could totally still apply to be a cop." And I was like, why would I want to put someone else through this? Are you serious? But I appreciate that I'm fortunate in the sense that I got to mouth off to cops. I got to tell them what I thought of them to their face while I was in handcuffs, and never saw a consequence from it, except maybe they made whatever I was going through last a little longer than it had to, or be a little more inconvenient, literally a little more inconvenient. But nothing happened to me. I'm not saying it's because I'm a white male, but I will say that I appreciate being in our society as a white male. I appreciate I'll say the word privilege. I appreciate the privilege, not an appreciation way like, oh man, this is great, but like an appreciation way like I understand it. I understand that. I don't understand all of it and how it affects me, but I definitely have an appreciation for that privilege that I have. And I would love it if everybody else was just aware of it. Just be aware of it. You don't have to hate it. You don't have to be, it's not your fault. You don't have to be a piece of shit to yourself about it. But be aware that it's a thing. It affects people. Other people don't live the life that white guys live. Women don't live that life. People of color don't live that life, like minorities. I don't even want to say that because literally white people on the planet are minorities. But I don't know. We're getting pretty deep into that one. But be aware of it. Don't stress out about it, but be aware that it's a benefit. Like I've had so many things come to me or fall into my lap, and I wonder would they have if I wasn't just born the way I am. So, I don't know. Yeah, Miles, you got it. I don't know. That wasn't supposed to be a part of the talk tonight, but I wasn't trying to get into white privilege or politics or anything like that, but it's kind of a side effect of any of these deeper conversations. But anyway, I got the help that I needed there, and then that was a wake-up call. Finding my wife was a wake-up call. I'm super blessed there. Like, she's amazing. She was a social worker, has her master's degree in social work, so she can talk me through things when I need it. She's been great. She was great right before this. She's helped me through some. I was having a really hard time tonight. Victor's wife is sunburnt. Was it noon there? I don't know. Reach out, guys. Get help. Do what you got to do. Know that there's other people out there going through at least similar stuff or willing to hear you out about your stuff. You definitely have someone in your life who wants to be able to help you, who wants you to reach out to them. So do your best. Like, don't feel weird about it. Just do it. Like, if it has to be somebody who's kind of a stranger, like me, like essentially we're kind of strangers, reach out. Mental health is a broad topic and it all comes from somewhere. It does. It absolutely does. And we are all crazy. Like Bubbles, we're all crazy in our own way. But some of it, like especially the depression stuff, it gets dangerous. Like people go through stuff where they don't make it. They don't make it out the other side. And I think that's horrible. I'm not saying there's a cure for it. I'm not blaming those people anymore. I used to be real hard on suicide. Like if you committed suicide, I used to be real hard on it. And now knowing some people who have had to deal with it, I don't really know anyone who killed themselves. But I know some people who've tried, I guess, the cry for help style. And back then, I would be a real asshole about it. Not to their face, but like I was very judgmental about them and kind of wrote them off. Like I didn't want to get close to them because part of me was like, I'm not going to get close to them because they're going to kill themselves. And then I'm going to be a mess about it. It was about me. So, which is totally wrong, but like it's a self-preservation thing. Like I knew how I would react if they killed themselves after we were friends. I'm not saying that's right at all. I'm not defending that. I think that was a really stupid way to look at it. But, now I have a totally different view of that. So it's not. It's somebody going through something that they can't control either. So they need somebody that they can reach out to. You know what I mean? They might be that person. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's your responsibility to accept people reaching out to you for help. But give it a thought. Like, where's this coming from? Where's this? What's the cause of this? What's the root of this issue? And the other thing is don't expect to fix them. If someone does reach out to you, don't expect to fix their problem. It's not going to happen. You're not going to fix their problem. You're not going to fix their issue. You're not going to fix their mental health issue. You're just not going to fix it. They just need an outlet. So that person just needs an outlet. If I reach out to you, I need an outlet. I don't need a solution. That said, I won't turn down a solution because it might give me another perspective that I hadn't thought of. It just occurred to me I'm wearing headphones and nobody's talking to me tonight. So I'm just gonna have to swab my ears like normal. Let that person reach out or reach out to that person if you think you know someone who's struggling. That said, I don't expect to get 50,000 PMs tonight or even 10. So I have some people to talk to right now. So if I need help, I will reach out to anyone who offered tonight. I'll reach out to you. Okay, guys? Because I don't want you to feel bad if I don't go back to you and be like, oh yeah, this and this. So I've kind of gone through it on here. Dying from heart disease or similar. That's how I view suicide anymore. Yeah, I think that's true. Like it's still a stigma. It's still a choice you made. Like that's the thing. Like I always talk about, like I don't judge people by something they didn't choose. So suicide is hard for me because it's something they chose, but at the same time, they didn't really. Like they can't. When you're at that level, you're not totally in control of yourself. When you accomplish it, when you do something that's like, you're not coming back from this. You kind of didn't choose it. I had to come to that realization. Thanks, Wally. That means a lot. Yeah, I'm surprised Nanette hasn't taught you that. My wife taught me that a long time ago. Like, she sat me down, like, I don't need you to fix my problems. I just need you to hear my problems. And then I was like, oh, if I can't fix it, I don't listen to it. So I'll be at Denny's. No, now I try to just listen. And then I wait and I go, oh, okay. Oh, that's awful. Come here, give me a hug. And then she's like, you don't have any advice? No, you don't want me to fix it. So I don't want to get in trouble for that. yeah, by all means help. That doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that nobody wants help. It just means they don't necessarily want you to fix it. And while you are a great problem solver, I know you have a spreadsheet or had a spreadsheet that day just for me. But yeah, Jedi, it is a choice made because their brain chemistry is messed up. I don't want to say I have pity for them, but I feel them. When I got put into therapy or when I got super recommended therapy, they had me on the spectrum of suicide because I was having fantasies of just like taking like $2,000 out of our accounts and just disappearing, just leaving, getting on a Greyhound bus with a duffel bag of stuff and just, I'm out. All my isopods. No, I just wanted to go. I was just like, how I was planning it in my head. I was like, how would this go down? Like, I would need to make sure that Faith was taken care of. I'd have to send them money, somehow anonymously every week, every month. And I just like in my head, I envisioned that like weird David Banner moment from the Hulk, where he's just like got that music and he's walking down the road with his backpack with his thumb out. And that just being my life, like doing odd jobs and being angry every once in a while. And that was my suicide, like essentially killing Josh and starting a new life, right? Which is crazy. Like to me now, looking back at that, that's pretty crazy. But that's like the least self-damaging way to do it. But I would be living with that the rest of my life. And essentially leaving somebody like that, like you essentially did that to yourself. Yeah, Vic, you can't help everyone. But again, not everybody needs help. Solutions or venting. Yeah. Yeah, that would be straight up to ask them. Like, do you want solutions or do you just want to yell at me? I think I've asked my wife that at some point because she'll keep going with the same thing. And it's like, okay, are you telling me something? I'm not good at picking things up. So like little subtle clues, either I pick up none or I pick up way too many and overthink it. So like I get paranoid, like, is she talking shit about me to my face? Does she mean this, but she said this? And there's no nothing there. It just is me being stupid. But yeah, if you have someone who you think is going through some stuff, let them talk it out with you. Just let them talk to you. That's all they want is an ear to bend, a sympathetic ear. That's it. It does so much. And if they want more, maybe they'll let you know, or you'll establish that you're a safe space. I hate to use these dumb terms that are so stigmatized right now. Like, everyone needs a safe space. Everyone needs a safe space, some place that they feel totally comfortable, totally at home. If that safe space is like between my mouth to your ears, that's what it is. If that's the space that it is, that's the space that it is. It doesn't have to be a physical space, right? It doesn't have to be this chair. Although, let me just reiterate how fucking amazing this chair is. Oh, I love this chair. Was that just an ant? No. They're eating a cockroach right here. So they found the new trail. Everyone needs that safe space. Everyone I don't care who you are. You have a safe space or you need a safe space. Either way. Like I don't think it's a bank account. I don't think that counts as a safe space, although it's nice. It's nice to have that and have that out of mind. It's one less stressor. It could be with one person. It could be a literal place. Like I used to go to Brookfield Zoo and just walk because we were at a membership or whatever. Or I'd go to the city and just walk. Eventually get lost and just pick up a taxi and tell them where I needed to go back to. Because they know. Find a safe so we can walk in a cemetery. I will say that nothing helps you put things back into focus more than walking around a cemetery and just knowing that, at least you're in better shape than these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're above the ground. That's weird. It's a weird, morbid way to put it, but that's where some epiphanies have come to me walking around a cemetery. Done a lot of growth. That's kind of why I go back there now to do looking for leaves and wood and bark and all of that mess. It's because it's just memento mori. Yeah, well, I know what that is. There's just something about it. So let's find that safe space. Walk in the woods. Go look for mushrooms. Go look for bark or ice pods. Go look for ice pods. Springtails. Shit, I don't know. Some rare thing you never saw before. Go look for cardinals. I've been trying to spot cardinals in my neighborhood now. Yep, moss and lichen. Go pick up moss and lichen, man. That's all you need. You're not supposed to be focused on the people. You can. Like, do etching. Do an etching of a gravestone. The one I go to now, they have this, like, small sectioned off area for, like, babies who died and little kids. I can't go over there. That makes me crazy. It's all full of stuffed animals and stuff. Oh, I'm literally getting anxiety thinking about it right now. Because it's just like they were just spread out. And I guess I get the benefit of it for parents who lost a kid or whatever to know that they're not alone. Again, they're not alone. But to me, having a live kid, like, it makes me go like, I don't know how I would get through that. Just thinking about it, like right now, I just started getting like anxiety. So yeah, if somebody like me, specifically like me, reaches out to one of you in the near future, I just want to bend an ear. Just want to get some feedback. I just want to know if your company's hiring. Job hunting has been crazy. Unemployment, filling out unemployment paperwork has been crazy. It's just more stress. It's literally just more stress in the time of who needs it. Distracted by squirrels. I think you should raise a squirrel. You'll stop getting distracted by him so much. Like Bubbles, if you have a job opening, let me know. You know where I am. I'm not, no, I'm not really by Detroit. I'm in south of Chicago. Just south of Chicago, like 20 minutes south. Joliet, Illinois, if that makes any sense. Joylet or Joylet. So, but yeah, we might be doing more chats online where we put up a room in Facebook and everybody can just come in and literally talk. Like, you can have a camera on or not. It's up to you. Victor's in Wisconsin. All right, man. Yeah, message me later. That'd be awesome. My whole background's customer service, but I definitely have like computer skills. I got nunchuck skills. I got, what's up, Alex Jackson? I don't think I've ever seen an Alex Jackson here. Weird. Is this your first episode here, Alex? Oh, Victor, I can't recommend a pet squirrel enough. I raised 2 when I was a vet tech, and oh my God, they were so cool. The one we wound up releasing to an official wildlife rehabber. I used to have my license. I don't anymore. I haven't had it in years and years. But I used to have it to, I don't know any murder skills. But that would be good to have in Detroit, I imagine. So the first one we raised was oh, nice. Nice. See, I don't remember anything ever. Jeez, I'm so awful at this. So the 2 squirrels. The one was Charlie. My nephew named him Charlie. And he was like literally my best friend. So when I needed one most, that was when I was going through that whole thing of getting my license back. That was like 5 years. I didn't have Charlie for 5 years. I had him like a year. And then it just got to be too much. It didn't seem fair to have him in the house. So we put him with a wildlife rehabber who got him basically taught him how to be a real squirrel again, which didn't take long. You finally got a Budget's frog? Those things are all mouth. They freak me out. Like, I know they could swallow stuff bigger than their body, which blows my mind. The second one we got was named Thunk. So Thunk was named Thunk because he fell out of a tree, and my coworker found him. So my coworker lived on a 2nd-story apartment, and Thunk's branch, his nest, was right off of their balcony. So they picked him up off the ground, took him back inside, put him back in his nest, made sure he was like settled, and then Thunk walked right out of the nest and fell off the branch again. So they ran downstairs and picked him up and brought him in. He was like riddled with fleas, totally dehydrated. Oh, Animal Island is the best, man. I've been feeding red worms to my red wrigglers to my newts, cut in half. They each eat one whole one, like they each eat one worm, but in two halves, because it's just like it's longer than their body. It just drives me crazy. Bastard. Got him. But the squirrels were the best. They are the best. They're so smart. They do all kinds of obstacle course stuff. He did make a thunk. That's how he got his name, Thunk. He named himself. But bottle feeding, you have to get them when they're like a tiny baby, because otherwise they don't bond right, I think. Like, or you can just tame the ones outside by feeding them nuts. They get smart enough and bold enough that they'll come up to you. But raising them, hand raising from baby is great, but you're literally up every 2 hours giving them a couple mils of formula. And so I was dedicated to that. Boy, I don't think I could do it now at this age, but in my 20s, I was down. My cat would probably try to eat them. I will tell you what, I thought the same thing. And my first squirrel, I just had dogs. And I was worried the dogs would bother Charlie because he would get out a lot because the cage was like handmade. It was kind of shitty. He would get out a lot. So I would worry the dogs. I had a black lab and then a mix. And he would literally jump on their back and ride them around. They'd be spinning in circles trying to get him off. And then they would look at him and he'd run up something and, he'd be up the curtains or whatever. And then the cats, Thunk would chase the cats like they didn't know what to do with him. We had two of our cats are basically small people that lived with us. Like they were not real cats. So literally somebody has a cat that knows what I'm talking about, that these cats were just other people. They weren't really cats. And then we had a third cat who was a cat, like a predator. Sorry, buddy. We're going to be done in like 10 minutes. So thanks for coming by, Wally. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you said. I appreciate that you're there for me. Wally is an actual friend. I can say that out loud. So yeah, he would chase the cats around, even the predator cat. They would kind of play tag. It was pretty funny to watch. Yeah, I bet they're nocturnal budgets frogs. That's so dope. Yeah, so I think I'm done. I think I'm done for tonight. We talked about mental health, so reach out or be available to other people. OG. Wally's the original OG. The original OG? That's kind of redundant. So reach out or just be available to someone else who needs someone to reach out, because you never know. They might not even know how much they need it until after the fact. So of yes or no. So I can say from experience, like it's definitely necessary. So the newts are right over here now. They're not on the desk. I'm not at the desk anymore. Well, I am, but it's whatever. So yeah, so reach out because people need it. Show that love. We all gotta love each other. Night Vic. BFF. He's definitely a BFF. Yeah, let that person reach out or reach out to them preemptively. If you know they're acting weird or something's up, like say something. Don't pressure. I have a friend who is going through some stuff and I still don't know what it is, but I just reach out every day. Just say, hey man, how's it going? And that's it. No pressure. Just checking on you. And I don't, it's his business. They can bring it up if they want to. But again, I think it's a thing where there's that weird shame attached to it as a man. Like, I don't know if it's like that for women, but as a man, like, there's a weird stigma attached to it that you're not allowed to have problems. You're a man. Be tough. Suck it up. You don't have to. I have another friend who just out of nowhere came to me with these problems he was dealing with. And I'm here. I'll listen. I don't care. You're not a burden. It's not a burden to me at all. I may not have the time right that second, but I'll have the time eventually. So, and I'll reach out when I do, hopefully. Not going to get a frog anytime soon, Alex. But, yeah, you guys have a great day. Thanks for coming. I went an hour and 15 without a guest. Yeah. We were kind of all over the place, but thanks for coming. I hope somebody got something out of this. I hope this video helped one person. That's all I care about. So, and I hope it brought everybody closer together. So we'll see you Tuesday. We're going to talk to ISO Psycho. She seems pretty awesome. She's very, I'll have some, I'll have a story about her while she's there. So, because it's kind of hilarious. So, I kind of can't wait to tell you guys. As you can tell, I'm already laughing about it. So, anyway, join us Tuesday if you can. If not, watch it later because seriously, it's a pretty funny story. Reach out to somebody. Get help if you need it. Give help if you can. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you all. Thank you so much for coming by for this tonight. I kind of needed it to. Thanks, Miles. I kind of needed it to vent some frustrations I've had with my own situation and mental health in general. So, and the state of the universe. So, we'll see you guys later. Okay. Love you. Love the show. I'll keep doing this as long as you'll keep listening.